Hi, this is Stan. Well, here's a little bit of an update. Actually put some water in this Ajax locomotive for the first time yesterday, and we didn't really completely steam it up. We used a propane torch and put some heat into the firebox just with the propane torch. We got it up to about 75 psi, and amazingly did not have any critical leaks or seeping on the boiler. So that is a fantastic update. That is really good news. We might be able to make this into a steam engine. The final test will be when we actually build a coal fire in there and bring it up. We did a cold test on the boiler by filling it all the way up to the top with water, and then using the hand pump we brought it up to operating pressure at least, and again no problems, and no problems when we heated it up. Now, one thing we wanted to test out a little bit was the oil pump here. I'll pop the lid off and see if I can get you a close-up here. You can see that it's got some steam oil in it, which is a super thick, really very heavy oil. And there's a little piston in here that when this is under steam, it's going to drive that oil in and lubricate in the valve and in the piston. Got a really extensive to-do list. I was able to get the locomotive out to the railroad park, and I had some friends who are steam engine experts and have had a lot of experience, and they helped me with the heat up, and they gave me a huge list of things that I've got to care for here before we take the next step, which would be put a coal fire in it. We're under a fire ban restriction at the railroad club right now, and so we can't build a coal fire, and I don't want to do that by myself here at home when I've got no one here to help me with it. So that'll have to wait until we're over with the fire ban. I don't know how long that will last, maybe even through the end of the summer. But got plenty of things to do. Let me show you a couple of examples. Just a couple of projects that I've got to get to from my list. Need a new pressure gauge. This thing is leaking on the inside. It's got some condensation on the inside of the glass. This little handle has come free of the shaft, and so I've got to see if I can bind this up again, maybe with some super duper Loctite or something, maybe even resoldering that onto the shaft. Had a few leaks on the fitting. These are the water tanks. There is a leveling tube that goes underneath, so they're always at the same level, but there's no way for me to drain the water out of them once I'm done running the locomotive. So I may try to put a little bushing fitting on the bottom of one of the tanks to see if I can drain the water out. This is where the actual water pump is that puts water into the boiler, and it actually worked very well. It brought the pressure up very quickly once we filled it up with water. Didn't trigger both safeties, but this safety went off at about 76, 77 psi, this front safety. We really didn't heat it up that efficiently, just with the flame coming from the torch up into the firebox. So we're going to have to legitimately put some coal and build a long-lasting fire in this thing to sort out any more problems. One of the tasks I've got to care for is we need to know exactly at what level this crown sheet is on the inside. I've got to take some measurements, and that will help us determine exactly where the water level needs to be on this sight glass. We have to keep that top of the firebox covered with an ample supply of water all the time, or some real damage can occur with a really hot fire. And one other small thing, there's an actual fitting down underneath that requires a small wrench to undo this fitting and blow the boiler down once you've stopped applying heat to it and you're done steaming it up. but it requires you getting underneath with a wrench right now, and I need to rig something else up with that. Perhaps a special tool that has a square socket on the end that I can reach in this way horizontally and spin that open. There's just not enough room for me to get my hand in a wrench underneath. And I won't bore you with the rest of a rather long list of things I need to get done, but I'll be busy, and it's really hot here this summer, so it'll be a good excuse for me to stay inside the garage and get a few of these things cared for. Well, that's about it for a quick update. I'll keep you posted as to the progress, and let me crank open the throttle a little bit and we'll leave you with a little bit of faster running here.